All right, I think we've been enjoying some pretty nice weather here in early June. Mason, can you hit play up there in the upper left corner? It looks like we're not in play mode. There we go. Thanks, Mace. 82 degrees today, and that's really where temperatures have been hanging, low 80s around Flagstaff for the last week or so. And you know, in early June, we can really be seeing a lot hotter temperatures around here. It's been quite pleasant, I think. 76 is our average for this time of year, so we're a little bit above average. But record type highs getting around 90 degrees. 90 was the high record set just last year, back in 2013. A little bit on the mild side last night with an overall 49 degrees. 40 is our average. Statewide temperatures, well, it's a little bit of a heat wave elsewhere, not really for us here in Flagstaff. 110 today in Phoenix, 93 Prescott, 97 in Camp Verde. It was 91 degrees in Winslow. Okay, if you were with us earlier in the show and we were talking about Lake Powell rising a foot a day and all the great snow melt runoff, I was a little bit surprised in that. So I went and I looked at some of the snowpack and water equivalent up there in the Rocky Mountains. What we're looking here is a web page that I took, and this is Denver. All these purple areas right here are greater than 150% of normal on their water equivalent in the snowpack there this winter here and in early June. And some of these numbers, 163, that's the Laramie River runoff, 163%, 299 in the upper Colorado River runoff, Gunnison headwaters at 712% of normal. South Platte River runoff, 453% of normal. So that's where all this great water is coming for Lake Powell and all the reservoirs, and it's great news for all of Southwest. Not just boaters that are going to Lake Powell. I mean, we all need water all through the lower Colorado River Basin area, and that's just some really good news. Now, how does that happen when we had one of the driest winters on record here in Arizona? Well, the storm track this year was just really right through the Rocky Mountains, kind of came through the Pacific Northwest, and then it dropped down the spine of the Rockies, and then off into the eastern portion of the country. We just get kind of dry cold front after dry cold front at the southern end. It's much more wet pattern for us when storms come in through central and southern California, and then they wallop the southwest. And then that's a better for the southern Rockies and the Four Corners, but the northern Rockies got a bunch of snow this year. All right, currently out there, spring storm system bringing a little bit of severe weather down along the deep south and wrapping around into the plains. Missouri getting a couple tornado warnings today, and there's tornado watch out here in northern Louisiana and northern Mississippi. Notice very quiet. West, there's actually a little area of low pressure sitting off the California coast. We'll switch it off to the water vapor because that's the only way you can see it. Here is California. Here's Arizona. Anyway, you can just kind of notice this kind of little circulation here. That's a little bit cooler air. And we'll just cool things down a little bit as this thing moves inland over the next few days and through the week. A little bit on the breezy side as well, and I think we'll get a little high clouds as this thing sits off the central California coast tomorrow. It looks like we're mostly sunny, but with some high clouds tomorrow, and temperatures very similar to today. Breeze will pick up for the rest of the week, turning windy as we get towards the weekend. 80 degrees outside right now. Winds out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, 43 degrees. Clear, calm, and cool. Not a lot going on out there for us tomorrow. We're forecasting a high temperature, even a little bit warmer than today, 83 degrees. Very pleasant out there. I think a little bit of high clouds, and it'll be a bit on the breezy side with winds gusting up around 25, 30 miles an hour. Sedona, 97 degrees. Payson 91 and Winslow 96. Here's a look at your 5-day forecast for us here in Flagstaff. It's breezy the whole way through down in Sedona. And I think temperatures actually drop down into the upper 70s here as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sedona, temperatures will cool off a little, which will be nice as you go from the mid-upper 90s to the lower mid-90s, which is kind of a big difference.
All right, thanks for that, Lee.